Hey there, Allie from Parkside Nutrition, and I want to show you my quick hack to find new recipes. Quite often people ask me for recipes. What's a healthy recipe for this, healthy version of this? I'm going to show you how I do that. So I use the just plain old Google machine and I use this in two ways. So if a client needs a recipe, I'll type in, maybe they need a high protein lasagna recipe, low carb, high fiber is usually what people need when they general weight loss. So high protein is going to help us stay full with lower calories. High fiber helps us stay full with lower calories. Low carb decreases the calories. I'm usually working with people that have some degree of chronic disease, so we're trying to either moderate blood sugar or something along those lines. So those added descriptors really help, and you just basically insert the food that you're trying to recreate, a healthier version. So whether this is mashed potatoes or insert your favorite recipe, stew, whichever. Sometimes that's going to be pretty hard to do. Like if we're looking for a low calorie, like clam chowder recipe, that's going to be tough because it's mostly just a high calorie, like high fat meal. So that might be tough, but doesn't mean it's impossible. The internet might surprise you. But I'm just going to go ahead and hit go on this. Can't spell, shocker. And see what it generates. AI might come up with something as well, which might be worth something. You can also ask it to make you a recipe, ask you to give you the nutrition information, which is very helpful. It will give you instructions for sure. I'm going to just choose this one and see what it looks like. But I'm usually adding those descriptors, the food I want. You can also do this if you have no idea what to make. I'll do the same thing. If I have like a butternut squash, maybe, a can of marinara sauce in the pantry and ground beef or whatever I have left, I'll type all of those things into Google as well. Let's just do that for fun. All right, so I just typed in, can you find me a high protein, low carb, high fiber meal that uses butternut squash, ground turkey, and tomato sauce? Basic ingredients. You can obviously type in whatever you have around the house, but obviously AI will make one for you, or hopefully it comes up with some good search options. So let's kind of compare the two. All right, so turkey, butternut squash, chili. Let me see the recipe. Prep time is good. You can also add that in there, like add in quick dinners, 30-minute recipe, 20-minute recipe. Let's jump to the nutrition facts though and see how good this really is. All right. Okay, so one serving, which doesn't tell you how much by weight, 192 calories, 5 grams of fat, that's pretty low, 23 grams of carbs, that's pretty moderate, 17 grams of protein, that's okay. Me personally would like that to be higher, but honestly, I don't know if this is a full serving. I consider a serving pretty close to a meal, and that's only less than 200 calories. So I think this is trying. So they're trying to be too low in the sense of like the portion is really small. If this is a side, sure, it's a great side, but I would still probably need to have a bigger serving to actually like fill you up. So not bad. I wish it just said how much. Like if this is a 200-gram serving, that's probably pretty good. But it's not usually going to be enough to fill somebody up. But like I said, could be a great side. Maybe you have a side salad, a bag salad that you can add to it. Maybe you have some leftover protein that you can kind of toss in there as well. That might work out better. All right, let's look at this. Easy low carb lasagna. So lasagna is not a low carb meal, so that's why this could be challenging. Usually also not very high in protein, so likely for my preferences, we'd have to add a little bit more protein to this. But if the point is to find a lasagna that's a little closer to our health goals, that's a win for me. I'm still not probably having clients have lasagna every single week just because the nature of the natural dish is usually a little higher in carbs, but we can certainly doctor it up a little bit and make it a little bit healthier if we are wanting to include this, on a more regular basis. So it says if we make 8 servings in one batch, it's 221 calories. That's pretty small, but again, I think most of the time people make these servings pretty small, so the macros and the numbers look pretty good. It has eggs in it, cheese in it, so those are our protein sources, ground turkey, which is pretty good. You can also just straight increase the amount of turkey in the recipe, do the math if it's 8 servings. And I want 4 ounces per serving cooked. I can do the math on that later. But anyway, so if you know how many servings you make, just increase that in the initial recipe. But I'd probably say this needs to be 2 pounds-ish, but not too bad. Here we go. This is calories for the whole recipe. So divided by 8, saturated fat, fiber. That's pretty good fiber. That's 8 8 servings. That's almost 10 servings, almost 10 grams per serving. That's pretty good. Carbs, net carbs 20. How is that so low? That's really good if that's the case. 218 per servings. Let me do the math on that. 27 grams of protein per serving. That's quite good. That's the whole recipe with net 0 tortillas. Tortillas? Oh, they're using tortillas as layers. Got it. Let's see what else we got here. Okay, so it is a pretty low carb recipe. Higher on the fat side of things, obviously, but still not too bad, actually. 105. I keep it under 20 grams of fat per meal, generally. Depending on the person, but generally. Okay, cool. So yeah, they're either using tortilla or zucchini for the lasagna layer, which are both low carb options, especially if you're using low carb tortillas. So, great idea. So all in all, hopefully this is a helpful tool for you, but just use the recipe you're trying to recreate or you want a healthier version of, or the ingredients you have available in your particular kitchen, pantry, whichever. And ideally, our meals are protein source, non-starchy plants. Those are the two that are always missing, typically, or not enough. Some starchy carbs are fine. Make sure you have some flavor elements, hopefully with some spices, some seasonings, sauces, something like that. Some healthy fats are usually incorporated in there as well. But ideally, most of our meals get close to 30 grams of protein, if not more. More is great. Carbs totally depend on the person, but if we're trying to keep that lower carb, do the math for you, whatever you need to do. And about 20 grams of fat or less for general health. If we are going towards the higher fat side of things, lower carb side of things, then that could be a little bit higher. But I don't want to make this too much about the math, mostly just giving you a tool to find some new recipes, adding those descriptors. I need high protein, high fiber are the two common ones that are going to be most helpful for people. If you need low calorie for weight loss, that could be helpful. If you need low carb, that could be helpful. And you can also add those quick cooking methods, or if you want to use an Instapot, if you want to use an air fryer, something like that. And then, yeah, any time domain you need to work with. All right, hopefully that was helpful. Make sure you share this email list with somebody else and get them on the Free Shit Friday email list. Just go to parksidenutrition.com/subscribe and you get free shit every single Friday.